You've come from the tower, haven't you? Name's Agarth. Maybe you can help an old Fateweaver, eh?
Well, you certainly have the beard for it. I'll tell you that, my friend. What is a Fateweaver?
Fateweavers look at the great tapestry of fate. The threads will tell us how a life will unfold. But knowing the future and being able to change it are two very different things.
Yeah, I can imagine that, really. Though you saying that tells me that you aren't as good at weaving as you are looking.
Did he? Poor old Fomerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now.
What do you mean about that?
When he started his experiments here, he asked me if they'd ever be successful. The cards told me that the Well of Souls would work, but its success would come on the day that Hughes was to die. The old man took it pretty well, honestly, although we did a lot of drinking after that.
I'm not surprised. Your life's work is going to work the day you die. Let's go and get drinks. Now, what's this about cards?
You really don't know much, do you? A Fateweaver taps into the threads of fate and channels that energy through a focus. My order prefers cards. The cards are unique to each Fateweaver, since we all see the weave differently.
Okay. That's okay, I was dead too. Can you give me some help, though only 5% chance? I think I'll just tell him I woke up in the tower.
You're the one. Then that means it all makes sense now. The cards this morning. I drew the Gravedigger, the Running Man, and the Beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming.
And here they come.
I detest the mortal flesh. Time to perish.
I think maybe I did go for the kobolds a bit too early down that mine, because these guys seem to be easier to beat than they were. Don't worry, I'm coming. And I think I just flattened his head.
I detest the mortal flesh.
When your fate meter is full, the fate symbol will pulse. Glowing top left. You can then use your fate energy to enter Reckoning mode. Press A to continue. Reckoning mode greatly increases your speed and attack power. It lasts until either your fate meter runs out or your fate shift an enemy. Press and hold left and right trigger to harness the power of fate. Enter Reckoning mode now. Well, I can still get hit while I'm in this, it looks like. As you defeat enemies in Reckoning mode, their fates will begin to unravel. Come here, you. Move near an unraveling enemy and press A to perform a fate shift. This uses your remaining fate energy to destroy all unraveling foes and grants you an experience bonus. Oh, B to get bonus. Okay. That was interesting. Though the attack boost didn't make that much of an impact, I think.
What? How? What are you? The threads of fate. I've seen them before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that. You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do that?
Because I have the skills. To be honest, I don't really know, because I just did it. Did the well cause it?
Hughes may have brought you back to life, but that was still part of Fate's plan. Nothing short of a god can do what you did. Come here. I'm going to do a reading. You might be able to change the threads, but Fate will still have a plan for you. I promise not to tell you if I see your death.
Well, I've already died, so I'm not really worried about that one. But yeah, do you always see death?
It's a gift. Some people paint landscapes, other people write poetry. I peer into the weave of Fate's tapestry and see people's deaths.
Well, sounds like you must be fun at parties.
That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for Fate's plan, unlike most gnomes.
Okay, show me my fate.
You're nervous. Relax. This is what Fateweavers do. I'll be seeing your place in the pattern of destiny. Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you. Or, at least, I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much...
What? Are you drunk while you're trying to read my fate? Seriously? Well, I know I am here, so,
Fate's weave is always hard to see. It's in motion, hard to make out, but undeniably there. Yours is just... missing. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern. You should have one too, dead or not. If this is true, and I'm not saying I believe it, then your path is yours to determine.
My path is mine to determine. Unlocked destinies. Acolyte, Rogue and Brawler. Plus 20% block efficiency. I still want to know what block efficiency is. At this rate I'm going to have to read the manual. Such a daunting prospect, that. 10% ranged attack damage, 5% piercing. Okay. What's under might? Fighter tier 2. 17% melee attack damage. Okay, that one seems to be focused on block efficiency, whatever that is, and melee attack. Finesse is focused on range, damage resistance while dodging, and it seems to vary. Plus 12% chance to critical hits with a Nightblade. Okay. Hey, there's multi-class ones as well. Elemental damage, piercing damage, and chances to critical hits for a finesse and sorcerer. What's a might sorcery? Element resistance, attack damage, and you get damage back as mana. What about a might finesse? Chance to critical hits is pretty good, but you get bonuses to damage output mostly. Okay, what's the mixed one? Damage boost across the board. I'm not really sure what I should be going for. I've already started tuning up for might, which is a block efficiency. Again, whatever that is. Plus 30%. Okay, at max the cross ones don't do as good as the top level in specialised for the damage boosts, but I think I want to maintain some flexibility, so I'll go for a might stroke finesse crossover. Yeah, I think I'll go for a might and finesse mix. But for now, I'll go with a brawler. Confirm that. Thank you. Now, what did you see?
I can see the threads around you, but they're shifting, changing so rapidly, I can't make sense of them. Normally, the threads would guide my hand to the cards, and I'd use those cards to see your pattern in the weave. But it just didn't happen. They wouldn't focus. So either there's something wrong with me, and there isn't, or there's something very wrong with you.
And I suspect that you're drunk from your earlier comments. What's your point?
It could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that, or maybe the cause. I've never had a reason to doubt my own readings, but we should consult with Arden. He's not a friend, but he's got a good eye for the tapestry. I'll meet you at his home to the east. I'm going to see if I can be of any help to the wounded at the tower.
Okay. Who is this Arden person you want me to go and see?
You can find Arden's little cottage in the middle of Joven. Had to move there when he got run out of town. He's a damned good Fateweaver, but that doesn't make you very popular. Especially not in dark days like these.
I can imagine if you're seeing how people die. What's this about fate?
We are all threads in the tapestry of fate. Measured, woven, and cut according to a great plan. Fateweavers undertake the task of reading those threads. Our title always was a bitter lie, since we have no control over how that tapestry is woven. But you do. And when a Fateweaver looks at your place in the weave, we see only the shapes of what you may choose to become.
Yep, I did figure that your ability to actually weave fate was a bit limited.
The Fateweavers were once a great, unified order of sages from all the mortal races. We foretold the destinies of kings and gods. But that power takes a toll. Nobody likes bad news. And all the news in the world is getting worse. The Order splintered long ago. Now the old traditions are all but lost. And all I foretell is the fate of my beer. And I see it being empty soon.
Are you sure you're not drunk? Well, I can tell you like to drink, but that's about that.
Hughes was always an odd one. Curious and determined as any of his kind, sure. He never shut up about his work. But he always knew what was important. He didn't worry about dying as long as he knew he'd get the well working.
Yep. I'd imagine he was hoping for something a little bit better than what I turned out as, since I ended up without memory and with some flaws. But since the well's destroyed and he is seemingly dead, that means that it worked and I'm supposed to be like this. That's not a very nice thought, to be honest.
The Tuatha aren't like any Fae I've ever known. They're cruel, bloodthirsty, and savage. Why, they're practically human.
Why, they're practically human? Oh, they must have been corrupted by some human attitude or something. Or they were human, but that's just a wild guess. I don't know enough at this point.
Once I was Agarth the Unyielding, the Blade of Avgrum. I wrestled the Colossus priestess and declined knighthood by the High King of the Fae. I was a hero of men, but that wasn't enough for me. I joined the Fateweavers, hoping to find a way to conquer destiny itself. Turns out fate is the one thing I couldn't fight.
Oh, sounds like you've got quite a history, though. Now, the last question is, what's wrong with my fate?
That's just it. I don't know if you've got one, but that's why we're going to see Arden. He lives in a little hut to the east in Yulven. I'll meet you there.
Okay. I guess I'll see you at your friend's hut then. Goodbye.
What could this all mean?
I know it means you're about to have a drink. Yep, let's advance onwards.